All right, here we go. We are going to get into this Webern piece. We've already found the first prime row in the voice part, and we have built our matrix. So let's just take a look at our matrix really quick before we jump into this. Here's the matrix here. This should be pretty much matching what you've got to do. And right now what we're going to do is we're going to hit the music, and we are going to work on finding the first two rows that jump into this piece here. So here we go. Here's the score. Here it is. So let's see what we can do coming up with our first two musical ideas here. So right out of the gate, we have the piano starting on this, right? F sharp, F, D, and using our number-based naming system, we would call that 6, 5, 2, right? And so what we want to do is we want to think, okay, how can we figure out what row is being used? Now, the first thing that people often try is they think, okay, well, there's 12 notes in a row, so I need to go through and say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, there's this big jumble of notes, and count all the way to 12. But what I want you to know is you don't actually need to count all the way to 12 notes to figure it out, because they usually feature pretty unique combinations, especially at the beginning. So if we know that 6 is our first note, there's only 4 different rows that have 6 as the first note. There's a prime, there's a retrograde, there's an inversion, and there's a retrograde inversion. So if we just know our first, say, 3 or 4 notes, and I'm just going to do 3 notes, then we'll be able to find what row this is really easily. We've got 6, 5, 2. So let's go ahead and check out the matrix, looking for 6, 5, 2, and see what we come up with. So here we go. First, we got prime. Here's prime 6. This is 6, 3, 2. Ooh, that's close, but we needed 6, 5, 2. That's not it. Here's 6 as an inversion. 6, 9, 10. Nope. Here's 6 over here. This row would be 6 with a retrograde, starting a retrograde. It wouldn't be called R6, but it would be a retrograde row, starting with 6, 6, 7, 10. That is not what we're looking for. Our hope is set on a retrograde inversion, and what do you know? We've got 6, 5, 2. That's 6, 5, 2. That's exactly what we were looking for. So this is a retrograde inversion starting on 6, but this row ends with 7, and since it's a retrograde inversion, we call it by how it ends. So this first row is going to be RI7. That's pretty cool. Now, that also helps us know where it ends. That's the benefit of the RI and the R numbering naming system. It tells us where it ends. So if we go through, we know it ends on the note 7, which is G natural. I can scan this piano part here. And again, that's scary. We don't know what to do with that. We're going to skip over that for now. And look, here's a 7. So this goes all the way to here. So that's our RI7 in the piano part right out of the gate. Beautiful. Now, let's take a look at this voice line up here. Our voice line starts with the wonderful, very characteristic melody there at the beginning of this Webern piece, where we've got 7, 4, and I'm not going to squeak these out, 3, 6, 7, 4, 3, 6. So again, we can check our matrix just for rows that start with 7. Now, before we even go to the matrix, though, when we were analyzing this piece, we know that we picked this line, the voice line at the beginning, as our prime. So it should not surprise us that this is going to end up being a prime row, and we're going to call it P7, right? We can check the matrix anyhow. But that's how we find this. And what I want you to know, going back again, when we look at the matrix, I'm going to pull it up here in just a second. When we look at the matrix, it seems like there are so many different options. But the musical choices are the thing that really guides it. Here's our 7, 4, 3, 6. Right out of the gate there. That's what does it for us. And we know that this prime row goes all the way to 8. So if I go back to the music, we're going to see that just by using a little bit of musical logic, That prime line goes all the way to 8, which is G sharp, all the way down here. That's how you find the first 2 rows that are used in this piece. We've got RI7 in the piano, P7 in the voice line.